Hey guys, and welcome to another Justin and Jess video. So today we're going to be transforming this wood piece. I don't even know what you call this, but this wood piece behind us on the wall. We're going to make it fit in more with our style, and we're going to show you how you guys can do the same thing with maybe some outdated wood pieces at your house or some thrifted items that have really good bones but you want to change.
All right, so the first step in this project is putting on your paint remover. In this case, we're using Citrus Strip. I find that this actually worked really well. I had never used this brand of paint remover before, and so I really liked it. I just kind of painted it on. You have a couple of options. You can just paint it on with a paintbrush and then leave it for about a half hour's worth of time, or you can leave it for longer if you wrap it in some plastic wrap. So this time I just painted it on for a little bit and then came back to check it. You can also use Citrus Strip inside. It doesn't have a really harsh smell to it. So that's why I chose this product this time, and I was really pleased with the results that it did give to me. Now, one thing we weren't sure about with this wood piece was how old it was, if it was a newer piece made to look old, or if it was a brand new piece of wood. So after kind of working on this project, we found that there were some older sections and also some newer sections made to look old. So here is what it looks like after we kind of let the Citrus Strip sit on there for a little bit of time. And you can see I am able to get up quite a bit of the paint just using a scraper here. Now, I realized that there were several coats of paint on this piece of wood, and I did not enjoy that. Whoever had painted this before had wanted to give it an antiqued style look, so they had used like a creamy white paint topped with a blue paint, topped with some brown paint. They might have even had some stain in there, I'm not sure. But whatever it was, there were a lot of layers of paint. And so using the scraper, it really did help get off some of those layers, but there were some stubborn spots down below for sure. I decided at this point I was going to put on another coat of the Citrus Strip. It really worked well on that top coat in getting that off, but there were still, like I said, some really stubborn spots, so I thought, why not go ahead and just coat everything? Another issue that we had with this piece of wood was the wood was not fully smooth on all sides. There were a lot of divots in there, and so if it was a lot smoother, it would have been easier to scrape off. But since we had all of those divots, there were some parts that just didn't take the Citrus Strip as well that first time. So this was a bit more challenging of a piece than I expected at first glance. And here we're going in and we're just scraping off that next layer of Citrus Strip that we used. It really worked wonders this time as well, and it got off a lot of the paint. We were still left with some paint down in those grooves and those divots, since like I said earlier, the wood was not smooth like I had thought. It was just filled in with lots of layers of paint. And if you are going to be doing a project like this, patience is key. It does take a while to scrape off all of the Citrus Strip, so don't expect this to be a super fast project. If you are working on something that has a smooth top, such as a dresser, it's going to be quite a bit quicker than our project here. And then after that, basically what we did was we put some mineral spirits in a cup and we brushed off some of that excess paint that was kind of down in some of the grooves and some of the divots. We used a metal wire brush for this, and it really worked at getting some of those stubborn spots of paint out. This blue paint was just terrible. It was covering pretty much every single surface of this piece of wood, and yeah, I did not enjoy cleaning that part off. So after I cleaned out all of those divots, I went ahead and wiped everything down with just the mineral spirits again, and then I went in with our handheld sander, and we had to go in, like I said, there were still some of those stubborn spots that had some grooves in it. And so those were really difficult to get out just with scraping it off and also with the brush. So we wanted to go in with the sander and just do a light sanding over everything to make sure that all of the paint was removed. After we sanded everything down, we went back in with some more mineral spirits just to make sure everything was cleaned off before staining. After those mineral spirits dried, we decided to go in now with our wood stain. So in this middle section, I am coating everything with the shade Weathered Oak, and this is a Minwax stain. And this is kind of more of a yellow base, and I like to coat everything with that first before we finish off with more of a brownish, darker coat. So after I let that sit for a little bit, I wipe everything down. I noticed that there were two different types of wood used in this project. Whoever made this had used a lighter wood in the middle that had more of a yellowish tint, and then the outside was a darker, almost more brownish type of wood. I honestly do not know my differences in wood quite yet. I'm still learning that, so I cannot tell you what these different types were. After I coated everything in that light Weathered Oak stain, I decided to do just a quick wipe on, wipe off coat of stain in the color Provincial. This stain is also by Minwax, and this has a bit more of a darker tint, more of a brown tint to it. And so I really like kind of having both of those stains mixed together. It really gives the wood a bit more depth of field, and I really enjoy the look that it gives. So for this, I am basically just kind of painting it on and then immediately wiping it off. I do not want this stain to sit for too long and really penetrate that wood. We're just looking for a quick, light coat of that darker color. On the outer edges, I had to be extremely careful with this stain since they were darker than the wood that was used in the middle portion there, so I had to really wipe that off quickly. After all of the staining was done, I totally forgot to film this portion, but we put on a quick coat of polyurethane just to seal everything up.
Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. We hope that this was entertaining, informative, and helpful, and inspirational for you guys. If you did find those things, make sure you hit the like button down below and comment what you want our next DIY project to be. And just so that you are staying up to date with those videos, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and we'll see you guys in the next video.